Welcome to our second episode of 6 for 60, where I tell you 6 things that I love about Star Trek in celebration of their 60th anniversary. So this week, I would like to talk about the original series, TOS, not those old time scientists, if you're a fan of Lower Decks. Um, so I'm going to jump right into it. So I grew up on all of the old classic science fiction, um, Forbidden Planet, Red Dwarf, Doctor Who, Space 1999, Battlestar Galactica, V, could name them all day long. I'm sure you're all familiar with them. But TOS was my absolute first love. So the first thing that I love about TOS is Spock. I know most people's go to is Kirk. He defined the franchise, but I really identified with Spock, with his angst, all of his anxiety, not quite understanding where he fit into the world, um, but just loved him in all of his iterations throughout the franchise, even in the JJ verse movies, even though I'm not a huge fan. They have done a wonderful job in casting him. I feel like Ethan Peck and Zachary Quinto have been worthy successors to Leonard Nimoy uh, in their portrayals of Spock. So, shout out to Spock in every iteration of Star Trek, and just cannot express enough how much I love Leonard Nimoy as Spock in the original series. He was my first crush. Had a huge poster on my wall as a little kid. But enough about Spock. So the second thing that I love about the original series is Captain Kirk. You have to. You absolutely have to. He was just so suave and cool, and loved the Enterprise and every crew member. Um, William Shatner is William Shatner in whatever he does, whether he's a police captain, a cop, or a lawyer. No matter what he does, William Shatner is going to Shatner, and I loved every moment of it. Um, the third thing that I love is Ahura. Now, as a child, I did not understand the significance of her presence on the bridge in the show, but as an adult, of course, have come to learn about her trailblazing and the significance of having her on the show, and how Gene Roddenberry had to fight for her, and Leonard Nimoy actually went and fought for her and others on the cast to ensure that they got paid appropriately, and really fought for their position on the show. So again, Nichelle Nichols was just amazing. Loved her and all that she did by being on the show and staying on the show. And we will talk more about her later on. Even though I'm not a fan of the JJ verse movies, I do appreciate how they expanded her role and really allowed her to play, to show her true character and abilities in the movies. So appreciate it. So the fourth thing is the action. Again, uh, Space 1999 was a kind of show where you could turn the show on, and then leave and go to the corner store and grab some soda and chips and come back. And you really would not have missed any major plot points or anything. But in the original series, Star Trek, there was always lots of action and drama um, and character development. They just did an amazing job in the short time that they had. And so you were glued to that screen the entire time it was on. It was just amazing. And I appreciated the action and everything that went on. And the character design as well. Um, so, the fifth thing that I love about the original series is the women's fashion. I personally am not a fashionable person. Don't really do the makeup or fancy clothes, no nails, none of that stuff. But I loved the women's fashion in TOS. From the uh, purple jumpsuit in That Which Survives, the I am for you, to the administrator's daughter, her gown in the Cloud Miners. And I believe my absolute favorite is everything that the Romulan commander wore when Kirk stole the cloaking device in the Enterprise incident. Um, so it could just be my age telling at this point, but no fashion in any other iteration of Star Trek has grabbed me the way the TOS fashions do. They are just timeless. You could take any of those outfits and put them in modern sci-fi or drama, romance, whatever you want to do. The costumes for the majority of the women were just outstanding. They made me feel powerful and exciting, and didn't have a concept of sexy at the age when I was watching it, but just I knew I wanted to wear those outfits. I knew I wanted to be one of those women in those gorgeous gowns or the jumpsuits or whatever they happen to have on. It was just wonderful. And kudos to all of the mini designers who came up with those lovely outfits. And of course, there's stories behind all of them in the adjustments they had to make sometimes with the actresses, but it always top notch, amazing. And they contributed, of course, to the drama of the story as well. And so the sixth and final thing that I read, and it was kind of hard to come up with just 6 things that I love about the original series because so amazing. But these are the 6 I decided on. And so the final one are the lessons. So I grew up a missionary Baptist, and my first pastor was a history teacher by profession. So all of his Sunday messages had a lesson with, realistic, actionable steps to help you live your life in a more Christ-like fashion. So I've always appreciated the Star Trek lessons that were shared. If it was from, Day of the Dove, I will not kill today, to the Omega Glory, which I always call the E Pluribus Unum episode. Your fancy words don't mean anything if they don't apply to everyone. It's just wonderful. I felt like the original series always had a lesson for the viewer, a positive message for the viewer, and it was more than just simple entertainment. So those are my 6 for 60. I hope you enjoyed hearing my perspective. I would love to hear yours. So please leave in the comments if you agree, don't agree with my 6. I'd love to hear your top 6 if you would like to share. Or if you don't agree with my 6, that's fine. And I'd love to hear why you don't agree. And hopefully we'll have something to talk about on Follow-Up Friday, where we can get into some of the comments and further this discussion. Okay? Well, it was wonderful. I'm so glad I took a moment to share with you and that you took a moment to watch. And I will see you next week. You know what you need to do.